Hey, D, you can feel free, man. Feel free to tell me, calm it down. I'm trying to do a little interview.
Are you doing an interview?
Yeah.
But I'm just, hey,
he was chiming in with us.
Basically, he's gonna cut and piece it together to where he embarrasses.
Don't know what he gonna do.
We stopped at the end of the break of dawn. We still going like this. That's a count. Whether it's a beat or not, it's
if
still
the
a
cameras
count.
is on,
yes,
we
you
do
gotta be
this
listening to the song.
Listen.
We gotta come to practice an hour
my
early,
point
so we
is,
can argue for at least an hour and a
where
half.
does your spin
So we can
come
start 30 minutes late.
in regards
That's
to
what we do.
where the beat is?
This is HISD.
So it.
Savvy, one of the 4 MCs of HISD.
I go by the name of Scotty Spittin.
Equality, one of the MCs out of the group HISD.
Elder Voice, you know what I'm saying, one of the MCs, HISD.
Me Classic, represent HISD, 1/8 of the crew, 1/3 of the Golden Soul Classics.
So one producer, DJ.
Golden, also known as King Midas.
Initially, like when I first started like writing and stuff, I went by the alias of Tech. But then, like if you know the marketplace, there's like all kinds of techs out there. You got Sway and Tech, you got Tech 9, you got Technique, and so you know, like there was no way to really differentiate me being Tech. I didn't want to be like, you know, confused with anybody else. And so being that I was kind of in the field of like technology and stuff like that, as far as my 9 to 5, so you know, somehow the name Savvy popped up in my head or whatever, and I was like, you know, thought it was a very versatile because you can be like business savvy, you know, you could be tech savvy, you know, you can be, you know, whatever kind of savvy, you know what I mean? It just means, you know, it's an acronym for shrewd and vivid.
Scotty Spittin basically comes from Scottie Pippen, which is probably like the most underrated basketball player of all time. Scotty Spittin, always been a big fan of Scottie Pippen. That's how the name came about.
Equality came when I was 19. I got what you would call knowledge of self in Nation of Gods and Earth. When you have to learn your alphabets, E was equality, and so my first name that my mom gave me starts with E. So I just took that, got equality from it, and the whole name is Equality Rule IC. That's the God name or whatever.
I'm either on one extreme or the other. Either something I'm writing about is like really either like goofy and really playful, or it's super, super serious, you know what I'm saying? So
typically with me, well not typically, all the time, I have a beat first, the music. I prefer to write to music that is feels complete without any words to it already. I write 90% of my rhymes while I'm driving. Typically I'll come up at least with between 8 and 12 bars, you know, just like that, just while driving. And then like the last lines, I always try to, you know, really sit down and concentrate on that, and then I'll go home and I'll write out the first 8 or first 12 or whatever, and just kind of concentrate and really nail the last 4 when I'm at home or something like that.
Style-wise, I'm probably the most free-spirited as far as like how I write. I try to keep it real witty, funny. Sports references is huge for me because I grew up around sports my whole life. That's a big part of my life and a big part of, you know, my creativity when it comes to writing.
Trying to have some type of substance, you know, some type of substance with, you know, whatever I talk about, and be, you know, being as creative as I can be. More so, I would say, since I'm kind of like considered a poet and an MC, more so as a poetic voice in the group.
My sound would be more of a boom bap, kind of old school, nice loop maybe, and put some fat drums over it, whatnot, chop a little bit. Nothing too complex, but nice and simple. I know a lot of people have their ways of making beats or whatnot. Usually when I'm listening to a record, I listen to a whole record first, like maybe 3 times, just to get a melody in my head. Or if I'm trying to like do something nice and quick, I lay down a hi-hat or a snare and I just like play the record, and if I hear a melody, while the snare, how it's going. I start chopping from there.
Just try to keep it soulful, funky, but still keep that boom bap. You know what I'm saying? Just the raw hip hop up in there. Just keep it to where it's vibrant and upbeat. Even if it's something with a slower tempo, BPM, still try to keep it colorful.
Any beat that I've ever done, man, I can't really tell you like how it started, whatever. There's no method. I could have like been working on just a drum pattern and then just chop some samples up to that, or I could have samples. I don't know. I don't know. Shoot.
First question is, how do you feel about Lewis being a snitch?
Back in my generation, you know, we didn't respect the one that got shot. We respected the shooter.